Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. We have an update regarding T-Mobile. It looks like T-Mobile is clapping back at the FCC and the haters. I'll say haters. The haters being the customers that are mad and threatening to file complaints against T-Mobile because of these price increases on the older plans. All right, so we have updates regarding this. Looks like T-Mobile has responded accordingly to the FCC, and as well as customers now have some kind of explanation as to what's going on. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about here. Of course, I want to get down to the nitty gritty, give you guys the update, the story, and exactly what T-Mobile is saying. But there's a lot of mixed feelings. There's customers that feel like they're never going to get the price increase. One, we've talked about that. A lot of customers are thinking they're above the price increase. They think that it will not happen. T-Mobile is going to be very loyal to them and just never do it. Then there are a handful of customers that accept the price increase. They're okay with it. They feel like they really enjoy the plan. They're willing to pay a little bit more money. They see the value in it, right? And then we have some customers who are not really sure what to feel. They don't know if they're going to get the price increase, and if they do, they're not really sure if they're going to stick around and pay it. They may opt out and go somewhere else, maybe an MVNO or maybe a competitor such as AT&T and Verizon. Now, T-Mobile is kind of like up in the air with a lot of things. They're kind of all over the place, if you ask me, because they did something that I did not think they were going to do. And I am going to do a video about that in a separate, at a separate time. But they went ahead and did something that I didn't think they were going to do. They went ahead and just dropped some plans that are reasonably cheap. They did make changes to how they present it, right? They've added taxes to those plans, which is something that was kind of like an eye drop for me. My eyeball just popped out of my head. It was like, taxes? T-Mobile, taxes? Usually that's not, those two words don't go hand in hand. Taxes and T-Mobile don't go hand in hand. It hasn't been that way for a really long time on most of their plans. That's what, T-Mobile built their reputation on, being the Un-carrier, cutting the taxes out and basically serving it to AT&T and T-Mobile by doing that. Verizon, AT&T and Verizon, giving it to them real good, because there's a lot of money that could be saved by not paying those taxes. You could be saving $40, $50, $60 a month on taxes, depending how many lines you have, right? So that's a big savings. For me, that means a lot to me. That's one of the things T-Mobile had a massive edge over on the competition. So they went ahead, they dropped these new plans, right? We'll talk about those. Pretty good. Pretty good. With the taxes, it's going to go up a little, but still very competitive against AT&T and Verizon right now anyway. But what was shocking is, see, they're raising prices on the older plans. And they took away the magenta plans. So it had a lot of us worrying, or me, I'll be honest, it had me worrying that T-Mobile was going to come out with some crazy, ridiculously expensive plan and basically just be like, here it is. This is what we're offering. You don't like it? Don't sign up. We don't care. That was the attitude, the vibe that I was getting from T-Mobile. So I was really shocked to see some new plans come out that were affordable, that were extremely competitive compared to what you're getting compared to Verizon and AT&T. So now, I'm not really sure what's going on. Now I'm kind of looking at this little price increase as maybe like modest. Maybe it's a modest little thing, a way for T-Mobile to kind of keep OG plans around and be able to, keep the older customers on those plans, keep them satisfied. Pay a little bit more, we'll keep those plans around, because they could have cut it. Like I've said that before, we got to look about it like this. We got to look at it like this. They could have cut these plans. It would have been easy for them to just cut it and force customers to go to the new plans. Now, I'm sure they didn't do that because they know a lot of plans, a lot of those older plans are very valuable to some of their older customers. And there's very likely if they would have cut those plans, those customers would have left with them. It's very likely. A lot of the customers have not migrated to the newer plans because they don't like them. They're not interested in it. They're not interested in paying more. They're not interested in getting on new plans. They don't see enough value there. And let's face it, some of these older plans, T-Mobile was the king back in the day with giving perks. They would give you all kinds of incentives to stick around and just keep you satisfied. That's what they were good for, doing very uncarrier-like things that you would not be able to call AT&T and argue and get that. They didn't want to hear it. Verizon as well wouldn't really hear it. I mean, I'm not saying it would never happen. Less likely, much less likely as compared to T-Mobile, right? So I just got to throw that out there because we're going to talk about what's going on here. And I want to play fair. I want to basically, I want to let you know what's going on with T-Mobile, but I'm also starting to think differently about it. Like my approach is different now, a little bit. I'm still confused. I still don't trust T-Mobile. I got to be honest. They're kind of all over the place. They're not really they're like a wild card right now. You really don't know what tricks they have up their sleeve. We really don't know what they're capable of. Like 1 minute they could be dropping a $50 plan. Then it could be gone and it could be an $85 plan. Like they're just all over the place. So that's the thing with them. Their attitude is too sporadic. So we have to tread lightly with them. So I just want to bear that in mind. We have to bear that in mind. We have to keep that in our peripheral vision because we have to keep them in our peripheral vision because they are a little bit too much right now. But we're trying to justify some of these changes here. So anyway, let's move this along because I didn't really want to make this too long. So, a lot of customers, like I said, I'll call them the haters, upset at T-Mobile because of the price increases. Now, they have every right to be, I say haters as a joke. They have every right to be upset. They were on these plans for a really long time. They're seeing price increases. It's not something they want to pay for. It's maybe something that they can't afford. So naturally, anyone that gets a unexpected bill for the same service, you're not getting anything else, who's going to smile about that? But then again, it beats the alternative of getting kicked off the plan and being forced to a newer plan and or having to leave and find a new, network, which maybe you really like T-Mobile service in your neck of the woods. Maybe it's been very good for you. So that's a lot of annoyance, right? To have to cancel all your lines, move them somewhere else, get everybody else a new phone, maybe even. Who knows what kind of drama that might bring for you, right? So T-Mobile says, all right, we're going to raise the prices, couple bucks, whatever it is, $3 to $5. Some of you are okay with that. Some of you are going to leave, and maybe it's for the best for you. Maybe you go to an MVNO that gives you similar service for far less money, right? Again, it's all optimal. Like it depends on your situation. There's no guarantee for anybody. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's needs are different. Consumers vary, right? Consumer needs vary. All right. So apparently it looks like there was a letter shared with a Reddit user, it looks like. And basically, here's what we know. The letter, which is shared below in full, shares for the first time exactly who was impacted by the price increases, at least partially. The company says that customers with the price lock associated with accounts opened between April 28th of 2022 and January 17th of 2024 were not affected. Customers online have been referring to this particular version as a price lock 1.0. So, right. So customers are probably that have been notified are on the first wave. There's probably going to be a second wave. So even if you just got to be prepared. All right. I can't guarantee. I don't work for T-Mobile. When I do these things, I kind of do it like a live podcast. So, I just give it to you raw, and I just give it to you, for the most part, I give it to you raw. I try to give you the honest vibe that I'm feeling at the moment when I present this to you. Be prepared. That's all, because it could happen. There's a lot of customers that were bragging that they never got notified, and that's what I'm saying. And they're the ones now hating on T-Mobile for notifying them that they got notified. They didn't think that T-Mobile would do it. You have to understand that if you're on one of those other plans, most likely you're going to see a price increase. Some customers were on the uncarrier, on contract, wave, and they're good. They're as of now, they're safe. It looks like it's more like the price lock customers that signed up between that time that are ones that are getting hit with the charges. But again, it's not to say that it won't happen. And I think there's been a few on the on-carrier, on-contract plans that have gotten hit with some charges. I do think T-Mobile's willing to work with a lot of customers if it's appropriate. I don't know for sure. That's why I've asked a couple of you in some of my recent videos when discussing this topic, have you had to, let T-Mobile have it? Have you had to explain to them that you simply cannot afford a price increase right now? Will they willing to accommodate you in any way? Because I'm curious to see how T-Mobile is approaching this. I'm more than certain they're willing to work with some customers. All right, so here's the letter that customers are getting, and basically, this is basically their reasoning for doing this. So this is basically giving it to the FCC, telling them this is what's going on, and customers now have a justified reason. So, letter to the Federal Communications Commission. To whom it may concern, T-Mobile USA and Corp. is in receipt of your correspondence regarding T-Mobile's recent rate plan monthly reoccurring charge update. As costs and inflation continue to rise, for the first time in nearly a decade, T-Mobile has made some small adjustments to the pricing of some of our older rate plans. On May 22, 2024, T-Mobile began notifying customers enrolled in older rate plans. Their plans' monthly reoccurring cost will increase as of their June or July 2024 billing statement. T-Mobile notified all impacted customers by the way of text message and email of how the change specifically impacts their account, including how much their current rate plan will increase, when expect the increase, and where they can find more information. The price increase ranges between $2 to $5 per line. All plan types, benefits, and due dates will remain the same. If any customer is interested in shopping for a new rate plan or would like to review our current rate plan offerings, we encourage them to contact customer care or visit tmobile.com/cellphone plans. Regarding these changes, we are aware some customers have inquired T-Mobile's on-contract and price lock. With the on-contract, T-Mobile committed to its customers that if we were to increase prices and customers chose to leave us as a result, T-Mobile would pay the customer's final month's reoccurring service charge, as long as we were notified within 60 days. Consistent with the commitment, customers who activated on an eligible rate plan between January 5th, 2017 and April 2022, we can request to have their final month's qualifying service charge reimbursed if their rate plan price increases and they choose to cancel service. Customers simply need to request reimbursement within 60 days of the price increase. As for customers with concerns of T-Mobile's price lock guarantee, it is important to note that customers with price lock guarantee are not impacted by the change. On April 28, 2022, T-Mobile began offering price lock on new account activations on qualifying rate plans for customers who activated on a qualifying rate plan between April 28, 2022 and January 17, 2024. Price lock guarantees that the account activated with a qualifying rate plan within the enrollment period would not be subject to a price increase, so long the account remained in good standing and the customer remained on the qualifying rate plan. If a customer migrates to a new plan or not. And then there's covered by price lock guarantee will be the full amount given to the customer no longer on a qualifying rate plan. Lines covered by the April 28, 2022 to January 17, 2024 price lock guarantee are exempt from the monthly reoccurring rate plan charges. All right, so that's what we're hearing for now. Okay, so if you're within that range, looks like you'll be safe. But I say for now, because I don't know. They could decide to go ahead and raise it again and say simply, the cost of services are going up and yada, yada, yada. So that's pretty much it. Again, didn't want to make this long, but I wanted to talk about this. And if you want to listen, you'll listen. If not, you'll skip and get to the good stuff. That's all good. But there we have it. So again, it's a very tricky. T-Mobile's very tricky right now, and I'm sure many of you are kind of not sure how to feel about T-Mobile right now either. I guess maybe now I'm getting a little bit of a vibe of it. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe what seemed like they were going to be the aggressive carrier and raise prices, looks like that's what they were kind of do. maybe that's not what this was all about. Maybe it was simply just trying to dominate. I don't know. I mean, again, they went and offered a more competitive plan. That $50 plan plus taxes. It's still very cheap, but with the taxes, it kind of comes out to, it can add up, but it's still affordable, right? And so I don't know if they're just trying to change the business model, right? Just do away with the uncarrier, untaxed version and do more like, straightforward pricing with taxes. And then maybe they're slowly just going to, I don't know, slowly try to increase those prices. And then now, before you know it, you have an $85 plan with taxes. So I really don't know what their, I really don't know what their end game here is. I'm not sure what obviously they're trying to attract more customers, but are they trying to be taken more serious? Are they trying to get more aggressive with pricing, but they're doing it slow? Maybe they had two ways to go about this. Maybe they had two versions of plans that they were going to drop. Maybe there was going to be some expensive plans, but with all the backlash because of the customers upset, complaining about their prices going up, which they have legit reasons to, maybe they've decided they're going to not release those more expensive plans right now. It would be bad. It would only upset customers even more. Right? I mean, like I keep saying, it's 2024. You can't really drop plans that are dedicated for rich people when when there's nothing but poor people that really are using these services. I hate to say it, a lot of people don't have money anymore. And there's no middle ground. It's true. It's either you're really wealthy or you're not wealthy at all. Everyone's saying it, and I agree. There's not really a middle class anymore. It's like either you're, making $100,000 today versus 15 years ago. It's not the same value, right? If you make $30,000 today, it's like making $5,000 10 years ago. So there's not enough money. Inflation is getting everybody. So I don't know. But T-Mobile is one to watch. It's a company to watch right now because they're kind of all over. Like, I'm just trying to figure them out. Like, I'm trying to figure out what their plan here is, what their true intentions are. Are they trying to be taken more serious, become more aggressive in pricing? I think so, but that's not what I'm getting now. That whole new price, those new prices, those new plans are telling me a different story now. I don't think I trust them. I think that it's all a show. I do. I think it's all a show. I think eventually we'll see price hikes with those plans. And like I said, it could have been, it could have went down a different way if they had gotten a better response for the price hikes on the older plans. If so many customers probably weren't threatening to leave, then maybe T-Mobile would have dropped some new plans, more expensive plans. That didn't maybe work out well for them. So they don't want to lose too many customers all at once. That's not going to be good, So we'll see. Like I said, a company to watch right now. They're making a lot of moves. Some are good, some are bad. It's debatable. It's all debatable. It depends on how you look at it and what you need, of course, from the company. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.